The April 7th iteration of Raw continued to build to WrestleMania despite noticeable absences. Fortunately, the show didn't drag throughout as it managed to mix the balance between wrestling and talking well. Today on Joshua's Breakdown, I'll be discussing the Jey and Gunther promo, the future of the New Day, the future of the Judgment Day, and the Seth and Paul Heyman segment. If you're interested in seeing more content, be sure to follow us on the Two Small Marks Instagram and Threads account where we cover all wrestling shows live. The Jey and Gunther segment was a stark contrast to what happened the week before, as it was mainly talking and no fighting at all. It did start with Gunther coming to the ring, happy as could be with his suit on, and then Jey interrupted him, coming out from the crowd. I don't hate it or love it, but I get why they did this. Jey coming out and attacking Gunther and then getting choked out, even though appropriate, but it would have been redundant. Doing what they did, it kind of created more emotion for the actual match. But my problem was Gunther doesn't do anything but listen to Jey and look surprised during the whole segment. I would have liked it better if Jey came out swinging with like a chair or something and did the same thing and then tied Gunther to the ropes. And then started talking about how he's not afraid of him anymore like he did, and excluding the mom stuff and how he prayed for what he's about to do to Gunther at WrestleMania and tonight. And as he tries to swing the chair at Gunther's head, and while he's tied up, the security comes by and stop him at the last minute. I think this would have been better than Jey doing a 10-minute slow walk out to the ring just to give Gunther a warning, even though the warning wasn't bad. But he attacked your brother, so it really should be on site the next week. It shouldn't be you carefully walking out just because you talked to your moms about your brother's injuries. But the other thing too, when it comes to this match at WrestleMania, Jey better not struggle during the match at WrestleMania if he's coming with this ominous warning of he prayed to God that of the person he's about to become because he's about to kick Gunther's ass so much. So that's the other thing. During the actual match, I hope the narrative of the match isn't Jey is struggling to actually win against Gunther, especially with this warning right here. Otherwise, Jey should have been coming out swinging because he literally just destroyed your brother the week before. Nevertheless, creative does have me more interested in the actual match, and we'll see if the match will be worthy of the so-called hype. Next, the New Day finally got a shot at the tag team titles since becoming heels, and their heel turn hasn't been the most impactful. But the end result of the actual match ended up being a DQ against the War Raiders, with them still retaining. I do think it should be a rematch at WrestleMania between them and the New Day, with the New Day actually winning the titles at WrestleMania. But I think the biggest question when it comes to the New Day is, what's the actual payoff, especially with no Big E? Usually if Big E was cleared or in the picture, he will be on the opposing side trying to stop the New Day and gain some type of retribution. But what's the actual payoff to this? I think if anything, Big E should come back and manage like a lesser known team like a Alpha Academy or something. And I know what you're thinking, Otis and Tozawa are literally just comedy wrestlers. Right, I know, but he still should come back and manage, especially since he can't wrestle. He's going to have to manage and be in the picture, manage somebody like Alpha Academy or something like that, and pit them against the New Day and have them win the titles later on down the line, maybe at a SummerSlam or maybe sometime before. But that's the only question when it comes to the whole New Day scenario. What is the actual payoff of them losing the titles, and who would they lose the titles to? As it seems like the wrestling teams on Raw and SmackDown are pretty scarce at this point. It doesn't seem like a lot of them are either comedy wrestlers or they have too many baby faces, or too many heels and not enough baby faces. So what's the biggest payoff with this New Day thing? That's really my only question with that. But hopefully they do end up winning the tag titles against the War Raiders if they do face them at WrestleMania. Next, the Judgment Day fallout continued on Raw this week as Finn realized that Adam Pearce put him and Dominic in the same match, which ended up being a fatal 4-way match for the IC title at WrestleMania with Penta and Braun Breaker. What I do like about this is it does set the stage for eventual breakup between Finn Balor and Judgment Day, which seems to be coming pretty soon, hopefully at WrestleMania. But what I want for this match, I would not mind at all if Dominic does actually win the title. I think it'll be something different rather than Braun just retaining the title, um, and maybe Penta too. But I'm not the biggest fan of new talent from other companies coming in right away and just getting title. Not at all. I don't. No matter who, no matter if they're coming to AEW from AEW to WWE, no matter what. I'm not a huge fan of that. So I wouldn't mind if Dominic actually won the title and that causes an actual friction between him and Finn as Finn gets jealous and then he actually ends up leaving the group because of that. After that, Finn of course feuds with Dominic and he actually ends up winning the IC title because Finn is deserving of a push, especially if he's going solo as a solo wrestler. So I would not mind that. I do think with this, I do think it'll give Dominic a little push if he does get the IC title. I think it'll be good for him and the faction of Judgment Day, as if Liv, Raquel, and him has a title. I think that'll be good and make them more formidable as a faction and not just just another comedy faction. Not that Braun Breaker's title run has been bad or anything like that, or even great. To be honest with you, it's been kind of in the middle. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not that great. I guess really, but that goes down to his opponents. To be honest with you, I do think Braun. They could probably look at pushing Braun into the World Heavyweight title picture, especially if Jey is going to win the title from Gunther and not renew that feud right away. I can definitely see Braun jumping into that title picture and going against Jey for the World Heavyweight Championship. But what do you guys think? And finally, with no John Cena, no Cody Rhodes, no Roman Reigns, at the end of the show, we was forced to sit through Paul Heyman, more so Seth Rollins, rambling to Paul Heyman about how he should not trust Roman. All of it, not that it wasn't legit at all. I thought Seth had made some good points, especially when he said that Roman left him right after WrestleMania last year and you didn't hear from him. You didn't get a call. You didn't get nothing like that. So I did think that was interesting, and maybe they could be leading towards some type of split between Roman and actually Paul Heyman, but who knows what would actually come out of that. But I think the end of this segment was kind of interesting when Seth avoided the curb stomp on Paul Heyman after he did it on CM Punk, and then when he avoided the curb stomp on Paul Heyman, he said, "Now you owe me a favor." First, I'm gonna assume they're gonna run with that, and that's gonna be legit. But this is, of course, bullshit. Paul does not owe Seth a favor at all, just because he stopped and did not want to do a curb stomp on him. So I don't really know what's gonna come out of that. To be honest with you, with Paul Heyman being in CM Punk's corner, I'm not sure how much of a boost that does for CM Punk. Maybe I guess that messes with Roman, gets to him psychologically, maybe gives CM Punk a little boost, but I don't know. I feel like you could have. I feel like the favor probably would have been better with him telling Paul, give me that match at WrestleMania, the main event, other than actually using it to have Paul in his corner, I guess just to slight Roman. So it'll be interesting to see how this match ends up. I do think this match will still be very good. You still have Roman Reigns, you still have Seth Rollins, you still have CM Punk in this triple threat. I think it'll be one of the best matches at WrestleMania. So we'll see how it ends up, though. As far as who I have winning, at this point, I'm gonna say CM Punk, but who knows? It could change between now and WrestleMania. What do you guys think? Be sure to check out new audio episodes of the Two Small Marks Wrestling Show every Saturday. And be sure to like and subscribe for more videos.